Hi guys, it's Dulcie and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be back to school hacks, and this is another video in my back to school series, and I'm so excited because I move into college August 11th. I don't know exactly when this video will be posted, but whenever it is, I move in soon, and I am super excited, so I thought I would start doing my back to school videos for you guys. So yeah, so without further ado, let's get into the video. So this first part is for high school. I have like ones for high school and ones for college. So I have 3 for high school and 5 for college. So yeah. So starting with high school, number 1 is always make sure you get everything on the supply list. My school always had supply lists for almost every grade from like kindergarten all the way through senior year. They had some sort of list that you would need to get. So more than likely you will use everything that is on that list, and even if you don't use it one year, you can always use it the next year. I always made sure I had everything on the list, even if I knew I already had stuff. Like if I had extra notebooks that I didn't fill up, I would still get notebooks just because I knew I wouldn't, because I am a visual learner, so I like to write everything down. Like I like to take notes on paper. It's just easier for me. So yeah, so just make sure that you get all the supplies that are on the list, because more than likely you will use them all. Number 2 is get and use a planner. You will always need something to write everything in. More than likely you will not remember everything that you will need to do. For me especially, like I had such a busy schedule because I was like involved in like a bunch of music stuff in high school. So I always had like practices or performances or run-throughs or anything possibly, and like I would lose track of like when exactly like I needed to do them. So you getting a planner and writing down everything that you need to do like throughout the week is really helpful. Like I always have a planner. You guys have seen this planner many of times, but I seriously would like write. What I would do is I like if like today was Sunday, like you can already see like I have like YouTube videos and blogs starting with on June 30th, like July 30th. It's July 30th. All, and it goes, so far I have it go through like September something. But what I would do is like if it was Sunday, I like this week would already be planned out, and then Sunday nights or sometimes on Sundays I would go to the next week and fill everything that I knew off the top of my head I needed to do, or I had like if I had practices or like sorority stuff, or meetings or something like that. I would write that in if I knew ahead of time when I had it and exactly at what time, because that was just how, like that's just how I like do it. And like I started doing this last year for college because like I had something every weekend, like just writing it down, taking Sunday night to plan out my entire week from Monday to Sunday again, so that way Sunday, once the next Sunday came around, I was able to plan out my next week for like stuff that wasn't already on my like in my planner. So like it's just easier for me, and it's really helpful to keep track of stuff. So if you just pick like one day a week to sit down with your planner and fill out everything that you know off the top of your head you have, like if you have like a game or a practice or a show, like write that in so you know, so you already have that done and you don't have to be like, wait, when do I have a game? So you already have it planned out. And number 3 for high school is it's always better to get too much than too little, and that kind of like goes back to with the supplies. Like it's better to get too much than too little. Like I seriously have bought 4 or 5 packs of pens for my sophomore year of college, even though I know I'm not gonna use every single one of those pens. Like I use pens a lot, and like to take note, I use them to take notes sometimes. Like I use them for my planner because it's just easier than pencil to use color in my planner. So like I ended up with 4 or 5 packs of pens, and I don't know, I may end up with more, like I may end up with like 10, but like that way like I always have backup and I know I won't run out. So now onto the 5 things for college. So let's go. So number 1 is you'll never really actually know what you need for your classes until the first day of the first week, because once you get to college, they usually like, if your college is like Wesleyan's, like I think they like posted a schedule on your on our website saying like what you should bring and like what you shouldn't bring. And like I used that list last year, and like mainly it was just like stuff for like my dorms and like a few school supplies. But for school supplies wise, you will never really know exactly what you need until the first day, because most teachers, like, the first week is usually syllabus week, where you just go over the syllabus and you kind of like get a feel for the class. And so usually like most professors are like, oh yeah, you need a 3-ring binder, or like this kind of folder, or this kind of notebook, because you'll be turning this in. Like usually they do that, and usually then you'll have to make a trip or two to like Walmart or the nearest like store to you, like whether it's a Walmart or a Target or whatever. Like we have like, I think we have a Walmart and a Kroger and some other like small stores that you can like go get school, like that have school supplies. So if you need to go get school supplies, you can just go down the road from us. Number 2 is make sure you get your textbooks. Most times you can just find your textbooks online. Like I said earlier in this video, I am a visual learner, so I don't like having the textbook on my computer. I like to have a hard copy. That way, like, I'm actually like touching it and like I can feel it and stuff like that. Like, it's just easier for me. Like most teachers are like, you need this, even though it's like some teachers are like, you definitely need this book, but you like never use it. But the way like we do it is like, the way my college has it is that we get textbook vouchers, like we get book vouchers, and like they like, if you don't use all of the vouchers for like one, like to get your books, like I think they like carry over. So like the first time I think I had like $900 in like book vouchers or something, and I only used like 400 of it, so like I had $500 left, and so it just keeps like going over and over. And I don't know like if I get the money at the end of my senior year for the voucher money that I didn't use. But yeah. Number 3 is don't bring all your clothes and shoes, because you will not wear all the clothes you bring to college, and all your clothes, and you will not wear all of your shoes. I learned that lesson last year, but like I always tell people this, like when I came to college at Wesleyan last year, the fall semester of my freshman year, I brought all of my summer clothes that were in my room and all of my shoes. But that was because I was in the process of moving, and it was just easier to bring it with me then than bring it later when I actually moved into my house. So I ended, and like when we were doing like winter stuff, like when I was getting winter clothes, we still weren't in a house. We were still like, my parents and my brother were staying in our camper, so like I wasn't gonna leave all of my clothes there, like a big chunk of my clothes there. So I seriously had all of my summer clothes and all of my winter clothes and all of my shoes, which is a big mistake, which I organized that when I got home from school for the summer. I like organized clothes that I knew I was going to wear to college, and I organized my shoes to shoes that I knew I was going to wear to college at least once. So yeah, so you don't need all of your clothes and all of your shoes. And I even have like some winter clothes and like my summer clothes and winter clothes kind of combined, because it's just like, it's easier for me, because like even though I do live like 30 minutes from my school, I don't like want to have to take a day to come pack clothes and like swap out clothes, but I can just take a few winter clothes, and if I need more, come back. Number 4 is make sure you plan out your week ahead of time. Like I said earlier in this video, I would sit down on a Sunday night and plan out my next week from Monday to Sunday. That way, I knew like for the majority, it was really just like my classes, any practices I had, any performances I had, any sorority stuff I had, and like stuff like that, or like any tests and quizzes that like I didn't put in there the week before, I would put in there. That way, when the following week comes and I go to my classes, the only thing I really have to write in is like my homework and any last minute stuff that I find out about. And number 5 is don't bring things that you don't need or know you will not use, and that kind of ties into the clothes and the shoes. For like me personally, I didn't bring a lot of stuff that I knew I wouldn't use. Like I brought everything that I brought to college. I used like everything with that, like even clothes and shoes. I used, except for the clothes that like I didn't want to wear around campus, or the shoes I didn't want to wear around campus. Like I said, but the majority of the stuff that I did bring to college, I used at least every day. So yeah. So that is the end of this video. I hope you guys like this video, and I will see you guys in my next video.